Hello everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to class number 10. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We are going to jump right into today's assignment. So on Thursday of last week, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday weekend as well. That's right, it was an extended weekend. I hope you all had a great 4th. We left off on Thursday with a visual literacy, so that means today we are working on our next Principles of Art project. We are going to be looking at contrast as the next principle of art. So when we talk about contrast, we are talking about how the elements of art in a work directly go against one another. So when I say that they are going against one another, I'm talking about creating a very significant difference within a work of art. So for example, if we're looking at the element of art, which is color, we are looking at a large difference between light colors and dark colors within a work of art. When we have the two together, a large amount of light colors and a large amount of dark colors in a work of art, we have a contrast, which creates a significant difference. That difference is what's creating interest in a work of art. So, unlike balance, where we were looking at to make all of the elements stable within a work of art, and they're kind of like working together to create some sort of stability, contrast kind of goes against that in that we are trying to create a difference. Now, you can still find balance within contrast, such as if you have equal parts of light colors to equal parts of dark colors, you do have a balance within a work of art. But we are really focusing in on the elements to create a very strong difference. So, from here, what you are going to do is, just like every other day, you're going to go to the assignment. You're going to click on the link for the contrast / variety project. You are going to make sure that you open it up with Google Slides. Again, if you don't have the little box in the middle tap, then you're going to go over to the upper right-hand corner for more actions, the 3 little dots. You're going to open in a new window. From that new window, you are going to go up to the center tab and you are going to open with Google Slides. You're going to make sure first, before you do anything else, that up in the upper left-hand corner, your name appears next to the Contrast Variety Project. That's going to ensure that this is your own copy, so therefore you can edit and you can insert all of your own work into this PowerPoint. So here we go. The first slide is just introducing the topic, which is contrast. It's class 10 and of summer school. Slide number 2 is giving you a definition of what contrast is. So again, it's the arrangement of the opposite elements. So light versus dark colors, rough versus smooth textures, large versus small shapes, so on and so forth, in a piece so as to create a visual interest, excitement, or drama. Now, contrast also can be created through subject matter. So think of yin and yang, or the good and evil. That also creates contrast as well. So if you have, depending upon what your subject is within a work of art, if you're doing a representational work of art, you could be looking at subject matter also to create contrast. Now, with contrast, and sometimes contrast gets confused with variety. Actually, they're very much one and the same. Variety is an assortment of lines, shaped colors, or other elements of art that create interest in a piece of artwork. So essentially, they're the same. So it's the arrangement of elements to create interest. And contrast is the arrangement of conflicting elements to create interest. So you can have both. Off to the right-hand side is a worksheet that gives you examples of contrast and how to create it through value, color, shape, and lines. Again, you could insert pattern here. You can tell that there is a pattern going on in those examples. There's also a rhythm going on within those examples. So we can see that there is overlapping principles found within each principle that create the principle, if that makes sense to you. Then we also have 2 works of art that show works of art, published works of art that show contrast. So you have shape and size that creates contrast, and then you also have color that creates contrast, done by 2 established artists. So the third slide is just a reminder that the elements of art are a key component in creating contrast. So off the right-hand side are, again, the elements of art should you forget what they are. From here, you are going to create a worksheet. You're going to give me 4 different drawings. You're going to create 4 different drawings that show contrast. Within this worksheet, it tells you underneath each box how you're going to actually create contrast. For example, in the first box, it's asking you to create contrast through value changes. Value is the lightness and darkness of an object. That's why I have the previous slide for you so that you can reference those elements in case you forget. Now again, just like every other slide presentation, if you have a printer, please copy and paste this worksheet into a document, print it off, and do your work right into this worksheet. If you do not have a printer or accessible to you, please take a piece of paper, recreate the worksheet on that piece of paper, and then draw right into it. Either method you use, when you are done, please take a photo of your work, so the 4 drawings that you do, and please upload them into slide number 5 off to the right-hand side. And actually just, okay. Now, moving on to slide number 6. Again, it's the same concept. There is a worksheet off to the left-hand side this time. And this worksheet is already a template, so it gives you a contrast in elements such as a grid, so squares versus one big circle. So there is a contrast, there is a large difference between what's going on. That circle is really breaking up that pattern. Your job is to hide that circle. So that could look like you continuing the lines of the grid right through that circle and then shading on top of it so that the curved lines of the circle kind of disappear. Or that means you can use any other elements to kind of help hide that circle. Again, if you have access to a printer, please print this out, do your work directly onto the worksheet. If you don't have access to a printer, please recreate this worksheet on a piece of paper and then draw onto that piece of paper. Either method, please take a photo of your work when you're done and upload it to slide number 7. From there, you're going to go to slide number 8, and there's one final worksheet that I'm going to have you do, and which you're going to upload to slide number 9. Now, if you don't have a printer to print out this worksheet on, what I'm going to have you do is you are going to create a work of art on a piece of paper using organic shapes and geometric shapes. It could be similar to what you have here, or it could be very different. Use your interpretation if you don't have a printer accessible to you. Again, either method, when you're done, upload your work to slide number 9. This will automatically save in your drive because it is your own copy. So when you're done and you have uploaded all of your drawings to the PowerPoint presentation, please go back to Classroom, please go to the Turn In section, and please turn in this PowerPoint Google Slide presentation. Again, if I don't have a presentation to grade, I can't give you credit, so please don't just hit Turn In. If you turn in the PowerPoint presentation but you actually have done no work inside of it, I can't give you credit for it. So please don't, please make sure that you have all your work done before you submit it. This presentation is due July 13th, Monday, July 13th. So you have the entire week to do it. But again, don't wait till the last minute. You are going to get assignments for the remainder of this week as well as next Monday. So just so you know, don't wait till the end. If I can help you at all, or if you come across any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.